Well, Newcastle won that reverse fixture 4-0 back in December. Leicester, well, they've just headed in the opposite direction all along, haven't they? Newcastle win, they go 5th with a game in hand. I mean, they've still got Chelsea and Villa and Arsenal and Brighton and informed Palace to come, so it's a tough running. But after that Carabao Cup, they must be brimming with self-belief, Troy.
Absolutely, and they've got that togetherness and that belief of a team, that work rate. It's hard to try and even give it any reason as to why you would think Leicester could do anything tonight. They've lost their last 7 Premier League home games without scoring. The last goals they scored in the Premier League was January 26th. So it just doesn't look good. There's a lot of talk with Harry Winks falling out with Van Nistelrooy and all these little rumblings that are coming out. Leicester have been a mess. And one of the Southampton callers earlier said, are we going to give them the same scrutiny? Absolutely. They've been a mess. Recruitment's been awful. Changes of manager have been awful. And they've lost their identity. And that's becoming a theme now with a lot of these teams that come up. But for Newcastle, obviously sweating on Isak. But the one thing that Newcastle have, what not a lot of many Premier League teams have, Callum Wilson's waiting and ready to go.
Sounds like Isak will be fit, though.
He sounds like he's going to be in.
Sound like he's going to play.
But either way, that's a luxury that they have. They have another striker that can do exactly the same. Probably not to the quality of Isak, but can run in behind and offer that. And they've got players that now they want to keep going into Champions League. If you want to keep Bruno Guimaraes, you want to keep Joel Linton and the like, you've got to be in the Champions League. So, Newcastle flying from strength to strength, and you'd be silly to back them not to be in that Champions League places.
I mean, you talk about recruitment. I mean, they did nothing. They did nothing in January, basically. But how big a mistake? Was it a mistake not to stick with Steve Cooper? I mean, I don't know Ruud van Nistelrooy at all, and in his little caretaker spell at Manchester United, he did pretty well.
Well, he did, but he played against Leicester, who are no good. And the lights have gone out here, so I'm a little bit panicky, but I'll just keep talking anyway. We look great on the screen, if you can see
silhouettes,
us. This is the best I've looked in months. No, but if you look at Ruud van Nistelrooy and his Man United tenure, he played Leicester twice, so he knew what he was getting into when he took the job. I understand every manager, every coach thinks they're the ones that can fix it, they're the ones that can change it. But I just think Leicester never gave themselves a chance. And, they've been trying to replace Jamie Vardy since Jamie was 31. He's 38, 39 now?
Yeah, 39.
And he's
39 next season.
And he's still their best striker. So a lot of poor recruitment, a lack of identity and who and what they are. And unfortunately, they're going down, with a whimper. And also, what no one's talking about, what are the EFL going to do to them when they come back? Because they haven't been charged yet. So the EFL could still hit them with charges, could still take points. It's a real mess at Leicester.
Oh, for goodness sake, we don't want to go down that road right now.
Sorry, but it's
so confusing. It would give me a headache to start talking about points deductions again. I mean, I absolutely detest point deductions, but you can't get away from the fact. Look, they won the championship last season.
Yeah.
3 seasons ago. They were in Europe, for goodness sake. Talk about I know they've had a spell in the championship since then, but talk about a demise. And let's talk about Jimmy Vardy.
Yeah.
Because he's 39 next season, 13 years at the club. His contract expires in 2 months. Now, he says doesn't want to retire. Do you see that other Premier League clubs might take up? Well, I was going to say take a punt on him. It's not a punt because you know what you get.
But it is a punt when you're just looking at age profile and you're depending on what his wage structure is. But James in a wonderful position because there's not many number 9s in world football. Never mind in the Premier League. So I could see him doing well at Everton, at West Ham.
Yeah.
Jamie's one of those players as well, and one of those people that when you're playing against him, you hate him. But if he's on your team, you'd love him because he does all the horrible things. But could you imagine? Let's just use West Ham as a case study. They've got full crew. They're probably going to try and get another striker. Having Jamie Vardy as the third option or second option is fantastic because as the season goes on, there's going to be rotation. There's going to be injuries. So I think he'll be a great option for a lot of teams. He's won the Premier League, played in Europe, played for England. That's a wonderful acquisition to have to your squad. So for me, Jamie, he hasn't showed any signs of slowing up. While he's still got that pace, he's an excellent buy for anybody. What do you think?
Look, any of the newly promoted sides, I would take him. If I was at Everton, I would definitely take him. I think, it's a cliche. Age is just a number. He looks after himself.
Absolutely.
He might be fractionally slower than he used to, but he's still sharp. When you look at his stats in a team that have been hopeless this season, let's be honest, 8 goals, 3 assists in 29 appearances. It's not shabby for a team that are right down at the foot of the table.
Absolutely, and again, 8 goals. So if you're looking at it from a team that's looking at a squad player, and 8 goals is someone who knows what he's doing, as you say, looks after themselves. As the game gets stretched, he can come on and run in behind. I think he'll have a few suitors. I think the same with Callum Wilson as well. Callum Wilson out of contract at Newcastle. He's obviously not going to take over Isak. So there's a few number 9s now that'll be looking, going, I can land a good place here, because there's just a lack of number 9s.
Yeah. As far as Newcastle are concerned, to say if they win, they go above Manchester, they go 5th. Who's your top 4 for this season?
I know Max, his next door, is a massive Forest fan. I worry that the injuries are coming at the wrong time for Forest, but they have a decent run in. I think you'd have to go Newcastle, because they've got everybody. They're going against everybody. And then also, I think history just says City will be there, but Aston Villa are flying. So I'm not really giving you an answer, but I think Chelsea will drop out.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's an answer.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will drop out. And I'm going to go the top 3 as it currently is, then with City at 1 and Villa nicking the 5th place.
Okay, so not Newcastle.
No, I just think Villa have just got too much of a good squad that they can go. But look, I'm more than happy for Newcastle to be in the Champions League. So yeah, it'd be great. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't have City in there as well? It was just Forest, Newcastle, Villa. It'd be great for Premier League football. Consider it's so boring, Jeff.
Yeah, Forest back in the top table in Europe would be just absolutely brilliant. I mean, I remember the days. I'm old enough to remember the days, when they were absolutely rampant in Europe under Brian Clough, and they were great days. And the City ground would be hopping, and we know what St James's Park is like on a Champions League night as well. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, nothing much boring for me about the Premier League. It was a dreadful game yesterday, and the by all accounts, Brentford against Chelsea was no better, but for me it's still a brilliant league. It's almost as good as the National League.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.